In this video, we're analyzing Scriabin's Op.59 No.2, Scriabin's only composition that predominantly uses the harmonic minor scale. It's a unique, short, late-era Scriabin piece, and it does some really interesting reharmonizing to mystic and octatonic harmony by the end. I don't want anyone to be intimidated by the set theory labels used to analyze this piece. I'll explain the harmony in a way that hopefully everyone can understand. I'm Jay Beard, and I make videos about Scriabin and music theory. Check out my website to see the lessons and courses that I offer, like the new Composing Like Scriabin course. And please like, comment, and subscribe. One thing to remember about the harmonic set, which you can learn more about in this video, is that it's quite similar to the octatonic scale, having the highest concentration of minor third intervals and containing many octatonic subsets. It's for this reason that the piece starts on an octatonic subset and often transposes by a minor third. The structure is a typical double binary form, starting on C, moving to F sharp, and returning back to C by the end. If you're not sure what's meant by this numbered structure, you can watch the first lesson of Composing Like Scriabin for free, link below, where I explain how Scriabin uses numbers to structure his compositions proportionally. Lastly, before we go to the piano, here's the main scale used in this piece. This equates to G harmonic minor, but we're based in C in the beginning, making this the fourth mode of the harmonic set 732A. The first two chords of the piece seem strange at first, but it's helpful to realize that they combine to form this scale. This harmonic mode closely resembles the mystic scale, which will be important by the end. Now let's go through the piece on piano. Alright, so this first chord, 531, is pretty dissonant. It's like an E-flat diminished 7 chord with a G added, which you can learn more about in this video. It moves to a C minor 9 with G in the bass. Notice the classic two-note figure in the left hand, setting the mood to be powerful and savage. We get some repetition to establish the motif with some neighbor tones and passing tones. Then we get more of an elaboration on the melody using set 522, a set I go over in the harmonic video. After stating the motif twice, we move up a minor third. Then we transpose up a minor third again, but we no longer go to a minor 9 chord, but rather an F sharp half diminished 7-9 chord. It's a beautiful harmonic subset called 526 and allows the bass to move tritones, outlining a diminished chord. Now we get to the B section, starting with an A minor major 7 chord, a chord I explained in my hexatonic scale video. This is the same beautiful, barely dissonant set used for these arpeggios in this section. So in this B section we utilize the entire harmonic mode, now based on F sharp. So we started in C with our C minor 9 chord, moved up 3 semitones twice, and that brings us to this scale up a tritone in F sharp. The bass starts out in F sharp and then moves down to C sharp to fully reveal the harmony. This shows how Scriabin loves to move the bass from one end of the pitch circle to the other, whether it's with tritones or fourths and fifths, and I argue this functions as contrast between tonic and dominant. So we repeated the B motif to establish it, and then we transposed the phrase down a fourth. Now this is a very uncommon transposition level for Scriabin's late era, and I think that's because this is the only late era piece based on the harmonic set, which has a lot of fourths and fifths, unlike mystic and octatonic harmony. So we played half of the motif in C sharp, and then suddenly we're in a transition section developing this arpeggio figure. This is where it gets really interesting. We start out arpeggiating the minor major 7 chord, and combined with the left hand we get 631, my favorite harmonic set mentioned in this video. Then the E shifts to F, turning this arpeggio into a 5-note whole tone set. And then the final arpeggio begins as an octatonic subset, starting with a diminished triad, and then arpeggiating to essentially an E major chord with a flat 2. And the second half of the arpeggio brings us back to the 5-note whole tone chord in F sharp. And it rings out for a beat before we go back to the octatonic 531 set from the A section. So that's the first half of the piece, and we don't really need to analyze the second half because it's almost exactly like the first half, but transposed up a tritone. We will, however, skip to the coda, where we have a slightly different voicing of the whole tone chord, and we repeat the 2-note figure phrase. Now what happens if we let this whole tone chord ring out and we put the B motif on top? The addition of the A pitch gives us the mystic chord. So the similarity between the scales allows Scriabin to reharmonize the melody with the mystic harmony for the coda, and then the final chord is a reharmonization we haven't heard at all in the piece, but a chord we do hear a lot in Scriabin's late era, 6Z49, Scriabin's octatonic hexachord. He could have ended the piece with another mystic chord, but instead he lowered the second scale degree D to D flat, making the harmony sound way more savage. If you haven't heard my rock arrangement of this piece already, definitely check that out. And if you want to understand the set theory discussed here, check out my Set Theory Simplified series, or check out the videos I mentioned throughout this video to explain the harmony we've discussed. The Composing Like Scriabin course has more analysis videos like this and helps you extend these concepts into your own compositions. Please join the Discord and like, comment, and subscribe.